We started the CrimeSolutions.gov website in June of 2011, really to serve as a resource for practitioners and policymakers in the field of criminal justice, juvenile justice, and crime victim services, to really let them know what works in responding to these challenges. Well, I think that everybody who's working in any field really wants to know that their efforts and their activities are effective. And what we're doing with Crime Solutions is trying to provide information that's based on social science research that really underscores those programs that have had success in achieving their desired goals. And so at the federal level, here in the Office of Justice Programs, our function is to really take a lot of the programs and practices that have been developed at the local level and that have been tested and shown to be effective at the local level and share that information with people all across the country. You know, one of the things we try to do with Crime Solutions is to make it very user-friendly and really something that was accessible to a lot of people. Well, we have really 3 ratings for programs on CrimeSolutions.gov. We have an effective rating, a promising rating, and a no effects rating. And the difference is really our level of certainty in terms of the quality of the evaluation and the outcomes that we see. Rather than getting into specific program names and mentioning specific program names, what I will say is that Crime Solutions currently has, as of this taping, over 200 programs listed in criminal justice, juvenile justice, and crime victim services. And the effective programs run a broad range of topics. We have programs that serve juvenile offenders and help reduce recidivism. We have prevention programs that work even earlier for younger kids who are showing problem behavior and have been found to prevent delinquency later on. We have programs that are court-based that work with offenders and reduce recidivism for drug offending. We have law enforcement programs that reduce crime and violence in communities. So it's a broad range of topics, including working with victims, such as child victims, to reduce their symptoms of trauma that can also be related to later problem behavior. We tend to have a greater accumulation of evidence-based practices that are that target juvenile programs, and there's a variety of reasons for that. But there's really need across the board for building our evidence base. There's a lot of law enforcement programs still have not been very well evaluated, programs that have to do with serving victims, and then there's whole areas of crime that are really more emerging, such as cybercrime, identity theft, that we haven't developed strong approaches. We haven't developed and tested strong approaches in some of those areas as well. First of all, just basic research, understanding what kind of programs are out there. You can do a wide range of searches on CrimeSolutions.gov, so you can search by topic or terms, and really get a better sense for what programs are out there that have shown effectiveness, as well as programs that haven't been effective. But also, students could approach it from another direction, which is to look at where research is really needed by identifying gaps in the research and asking questions about why is it that some areas are better represented than others. And you know, the answer to that is sometimes because the nature of the challenge defines how difficult it is to do evaluation in that area. And we might simply not be able to do as rigorous evaluation, or it's been very difficult to do evaluation that's rigorous enough in certain areas. I think particularly for graduate students who have a pretty advanced understanding of the field and want to really dive deeply. And for those who are involved in the research process itself, you know, there are some who may want to really drill into the methods that we use to assess the quality of evaluations and programs themselves. So there's a lot of different ways that people could look at the information on Crime Solutions. But certainly for those who are interested in getting into particular areas of practice, I would just recommend identifying the programs that would fall under that area and reading every program profile. Well, I think the evidence-based movement is really playing out across multiple disciplines right now. And in criminal justice and juvenile justice, crime victim services, I think we're going to see an increasing role. And it's going to come about for a variety of reasons. One simply being the pressures on budgets to make sure that we're investing our dollars in the wisest ways. Another is going to be the pressures to continue to increase the effectiveness of the justice system and to really demonstrate the effectiveness, because part of the evidence-based movement is a growing awareness that it's just not enough to provide anecdotes and stories to try to convey the quality and the effectiveness of your work. It goes well beyond that, and we need to be able to provide a rigorous evaluation effort to demonstrate our effectiveness.